Tene ta tanda tangpo ta hideli ke juta. Tene ta hideli ke juta ndo ya maze ta tanda jitang ke ta tari kapsala ngaranzo hira nyimbu ke ndo cheni seju ke kokap chong. Tene hira nyimbu ke ndo cheni sepe kokap chong maze ta tari ta hideli ngone yapo trup. Te trupate ya chenambege jerto tangbo tusam se hiranimbugun dola tusam se chuchunga. Tene te tusam tangba mayimba. Tene gom jab nyamne nang. Ta tende nang ne parchi mepa trupala tahidele shogi yanla. Tene te jisala ngaranso namjin tarto dojin chungtume sonden tempeka sala teba tomo guji ne surwatab narochi.
Rinpoche would like to wish everyone Tashi Delek this morning, or good fortune. He'd like to wish everyone good fortune because really we have had very good fortune here. The good fortune to be able to explain and to listen to the teachings on the profound transcendent full knowing. And so this is a very good fortune. It is a good fortune to be able to listen to and to explain the profound transcendent full knowing. And so you all have come here and had this good fortune to do this. And not only that, not only have you come here and listened to and contemplated the profound transcendent full knowing, you've also you've also meditated upon it, and done practice on it. And so this is really actually very good fortune, very good luck. And so it's a real tashi delek. And so this is very good fortune for all of us. And now, as usual, we will chant the Vajradhara lineage prayer. And as we chant it, please pray with faith and devotion.
다 단어 단다 당보 될라 단다 멜리 초가티게 롱제 인다로치세 랍송라 티니 티처나 단다 당보 멜레 조금도에 멜리 조그 롱데 진단게라 니테 세나로체
Rinpoche has been requested to recite the reading transmission for the Medicine Buddha practice. And so thus he will first begin by reciting the reading transmission of the Medicine Buddha practice, and please listen attentively.
Namo meha namo mahabekhanzaye ndalanzam namele kyalton dendo kiwe jeba mendra so jinjoro kyambe tsuzo me na dinje namgara me lan jeba yiji tru jobe jeyom guzo ndalame lo yimben denki shashon pongwa don tuja so zonda megu When they own Nangi Bratogo de la Me Song Hollow in Becher. Dante du je mani melu be sosoro me go so ni ma je gon in be zire je gom ke sonde na mo be kan za ye ma ran za ye zeno yin de zo de nga ke sam je me ja tu je jan la je ro we dong ha dong wa ye ze ba ben ro ya ye we la so wan de Shinto Sena Trapura Jembe Yidani Zijiwe Jiwoye Chensen Tuna Maraje Jen Laga Jamde Menje La La Solwan Sulshim Chaldon Yen La Ye Zembe Nyalwara Jewe Rwanda Dage Chensen Tuna Turi Jivarsa Menji Jalbo de la Solwan de Gonda Yen Don Chama Duma Ye Radun Jijin Rusutrwa Da Chensen Tuna De Don Se Mene Menji Jabo de la Solwan de Zene Serzon Timino Don Yang Menjo Badon Chura Yong and Jay Jalbo Rayon Jalbo Don Haji Jalbo Don Solwan Jambala Jadro Chana Do Jen Zen Son Jazen Chu Ye Jalbo Ye Nejin De Ben Chimbo Junye So Jingoro Yon So Zo La Solwan de Yen Ye Badan Je Melon De Menjala Indo De Nye Don Kenji Kiwan Chun Ze Yon La So Tamchu Limam Zola Solwan de Bode Sado Jizon de Zen So Lobin Janla Chongju Semba Don Jibe Lama Damba Damje Chuji Onju Sola Solwan de Dedra Solwa da Be Janla Je Nega Ne Don Jiba Nazo Ke Chisingen Sonji Bagan Ke Ne Dewa Jindo Je Wara Jinje Lo Namo Genjo Som Don Zawa Som Jamne Non La Jabson Jen Dogan Sonje Lange Jar Chong Chong Chu Da Sim Je Do Gada Lo Ne Tribai Namsa Kamen Chebe Den Mendra Jawa Se La Moro Je Lin Som Gada Lo Ne Tribai Namsa Kamen Chebe Den Mendra Jawa Se La Moro Je Se Me Jur Je Bun Zawon Dogan De Den Dunga Dele nyame donya gyom soba kita sabat mo soba wa ki do don ba ne da jur don ben on le don zum da dana do ga poran do jur ben on da singeta peta so se den do ron ne don den je je so we sa me hon den ga le me la gon don ben ya da ba we zir to we ko je chu go sum je lo ba cha yin chu ji aro ra don ye nyam ga lu zen zum ban sim be zo gen do je je tung ge gu ba je pra don den ji jan da man non la don la so so je den don chu ba de ja sam ba chu Dejam Jidin Jong Jodon, Deben, Jimbo Junior Susun Kordon Jeba Guyala Jalbo Jimbo Yadon Jeben Nisam Yegason Don to get home. Where went to be Kazo Jason Jesus Jingon Yegi Baba the Mebajin Danten on Latambara, Joro, Melange Jela Zomalun on Intergentes in Javato Zakadente Dala on Chuko. Londrin Seya Paraja Sadozo Namo Mahabeganza Sabara Waram Bezra Samayanza Better Samaya de Talin, Omo, Don Re, Abegan, Zaw, Medu, Mamedega, Romola Soto, Zuda, Terrorisa, Dagela, Japambo, Dajatuni, Zobrigo, Bezar, Company, Bibe, the Logging in the Nevent. Shamdaru, Shandangin, Terraza, Sabargeta, de Zao, Tagizo, Zigi, de Zujuja, Boyungar, Dagela, Japambo. Suni yung so brigo mongala arda sedon dagi zo daji de sun jujar bomba so dagi la lan che bambol sinje suni zo brig mangala gomba hunde yan zawarin je de yan sun jujar bon orbo so dagi la lan che bambol don suni zo brigo manere na hong kan je zo war rablen gel ni je dagi la lan che bambol suni yung so barago re na mendala dagi de Dehikola kutu solo halatma mangayon de dabedende jawam sarvata tangata begega de samaya kiraye hon rekan jamde dembaye jawe gunye sevarje kolatma mangayon dunga dabedende jam gayam begodana hon nasan siding unin de jawe kola solvarje kola sarva mangayon rondon bebedende jam bezaveta hon kundom bendo ya ro ndo wasinjini jedungal Chonchu Sampaji Jinkorji Korin Chimenzen Lala Tonsa De Zenlerenda Zezon Yang Menju Rajan Soju Lakajato Tambe Judon Simba Judus Kanchorin Jin Somla Tonsa De Sondon Jazin Jajin Sojun Nejin De Benju Niyu Nonja Lame Menjarin Zen Tunda Semenja Lala Son Sala De Donten Tukar Hon Montrin Ke Koro Bara Choroba Meila Vezere Kado Nasun Tuve Kazun Benre Yan Nungi Shingon Menla Chepe Tuji Gol Ne De Ne Menla Go Jejun Song Hontin To Sonsin Arara Nuzi Dizigon Charpa Chartara Pabni Rondon Dinji La Tambara Jorra De Adam Beganza Maha Beganza Ranza Saminga De Soha Chichi Nu Dene Jodo Di Dungi Jogawa Sunjungo Neden Dunga Dalwe Tahi Ho Jitin Hisol Ne Jitin Banarone Menzarma Yiki Donzelano Daladam Gadagan Zongondo Emma ho he ba gon terje surjin do nunjine du teraga asidi bala ngalwa jina lala kya give semje tamje ni ele tarne nyorodo mele gombo do joro je do jola tu sol de na ye jo telen to ve nan joro je la ju do ye be mangalo de la choganda la tu nam se na pen Sumba ye na zara mene gen kalde nyamba ye yen jo de draba son na son do me don wa don nyal wa don ye do tundur je ve lengi tam je da ne der me je kalde je jo de ma da da tar ne den do thori je jo je gen rim je sang je do ba don chen dra yon se gu se me bran jor ba don den ba don Ni don den don che ga jar bu che ba la so be ne be ma zu ba don cha na do je don song ba don ja jin don jar bo chen bo ya da ne jin je de ben chen bo ji ni yu dum bam don je be song ge jo de du ma yin be che wa jo ji don da don jin sin la so be ne ba don je le tar gen sam ba dam je yong so zo para se bran jor wa so Jeba melendo nine pen samje meja prasam kin chu palche la chen do chen go kawa ke pe rasa chembo chang amren bangur chu de la so se ni je rasa tom chen ne sembe koram ton shin be du jong men la ma do yin choga madra chen pe yul do je den la sa ju dan do som ye chung chu jin ben dan do dong ju choga yon men la ko na men le choga ye de dara ga sa nin dong wa kong la yon men la ve pen je wa me i chi par chi de la je du mon yon de Tsing la den tu pa dong la mi lo yin be zong da me gu en de ye tro yin be Don che me jong cho ba ken jin yang so long he cho bam za yin do Chom den de yin ki ba da jam ba yong da bra zo be song je min ja lam be do ya we ji jar bo la chong sal te ya thang be khan za ye ma ha be khan za ye ran za sam ng ga te ye so ha Ati long de pul chupa yin la ati ni tereng ke kap so hyu ju ge shu ten la teni ta cher do ta cher do rang yin sher sin ta lom sher sin ta tene tetra top lam je pen ta lam tin devo top chol ndabo ta tin zo chasa husim barela ta drink kapso ta kasin te ya ram gaten gate parangate parasangate bodi so ha hipe ngoren te ta te nupa ta bote husen ne ta drink kapso tanda 다 공도 때문에 히라제 바로도 좀 두디 드니 헬신라 다 단단하라서 돈비 주년을 램바놈지 랍고 버러 동어 템파티레라.
That completes the reading transmission, and then for today's Dharma session, we will be picking up where we left off. And so yesterday we had, or in the previous days, we've had the teachings on the natural transcendent full knowing, the path transcendent full knowing, and on the benefits of the path of the benefits of realizing it, how the and how the result is attained. So we've explained all this, and then yesterday we had the teaching on the meaning of the mantra and its power. And so what we come to today is a summary that gives advice on training in transcendent full knowing. So the advice on how to train.
Tene ta teyan zawa ndoye tsekong de na haripo janju semba chimbo nomji detar hirabje parul do chimba samola lapar shao se 다 공도 템베 예다 테네 람제 히라제 바로도 좀 데라 테네 다 파파진 리지 하리폴라 송아 타르도 테네 아타데 야포제 랍 당보 투섬시 바르도 감베 냥설레 타만 제부토바제 구기요레 송이사레.
And so, in terms of the root words of the sutra, it reads, Shariputra, this is how a Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train in profound, transcendent, full knowing. And so, talking to Shariputra, he says that this is the way that you should train well. This is what you should do to really train well in transcendent, full knowing. This is what you should. This is the ground and the path transcendent full knowing that you need to train in. And so here you train in the ground and the path transcendent full knowing. First you listen and contemplate, and then you meditate upon the transcendent full knowing, and then you attain the result in this way. And so this is how you should train.
Nimbundala tu somnang ju junga te pe kalbasang porela tene ta te yang ngarang ngune yena tene nge chiran namba la ta chiran namba tene dungalle kyab ge yen nge chalap nang ge yen tene nge dewala ke ge yen tene lam teng ge yen nge song ken jiba le chap ge yin sing ken rabo tende labna chak jun re ngala tende ge nupa kanya yo mare la nupa yo mare chinla yo mare jala khalti ngala nupa tong chinla yebe ong to tong ya tene ta tende chini chap yo ya rabo tende kanya yo mare la te masi pa ge ngala nupa kanya yo mare te yinaya tanda hyupa te ngarangi zubi tsegmayin ba tene ta tanda zobu sonji jamden de chisumba ka tela anke ba ton tuto chimbo nomji chebarato zombe tenchugun relba tene ta teyan relba ga ondu sena jerdo jono jesin taranatha ga songwa yin songwa rela ti jono jesin taranatha ga songwa teyan kongi tene tanda ronto 한반도보 제기 수마마인바 데네 벤치 바말라마타게 데네 히랍님 부근 델바 송요아라 데네 벤치 바말라마타게 히랍님 부근 델바 송아테 데네 단다 다 디캅슬라 켈로 주선 샬잠네 Tene sonye la gending de tsupa nam ji herap nimbo la kenyin zepe kapso deda ke tando penchin bamala mata suwaran zepe delba dela yer yoni ni suwaran zepe yimbe cherna tene tige cherdo sanje je kala nontul meba di nani delba la nontul meba di nani delba ke japten la nontul meba ta chepartam papa yimbe cherna tene tanda cheran nambege hiran nimbundo la tusom nongala tene nontul jongyo mare la de gambe nyansu lona ya mahompa la di loa yung mare sene ngarange ta thaji tupanda boje re.
So we are very fortunate to have this opportunity to listen to and to contemplate the sutra, the Heart Sutra on transcendent full knowing. And if Rinpoche were to say that he was able to completely protect you, that he was able to save you from all suffering, that he were able to bring you to complete happiness, that you were able to free you from the fear of the lower realms, that you were able to just reach out and pull you away from all suffering or pull you out of all suffering, that would all be a lie. Rinpoche does not have any such blessings or any such power to be able to do that. He does not have the power to just like that dispel all your suffering or do anything like that. He has no such blessings or power. But that does not mean that that there is no point in listening to him teach the Dharma like this, that there's no point in this. And that is because these words that he is teaching you today are not words that he's made up. This is not some fabrication that Rinpoche has made up, but rather these are the words of the sutra and the words of the commentary as commented upon by the great scholars. And so it is through the power of these words that there is the benefit for you. These are the words of the Jonang Venerable Taranatha. And so Rinpoche has taken the words, has been using the words, the commentary of Venerable, the Jonangpa Venerable Taranatha as the basis. And these words of Taranatha are really very clear and very profound. And yet this commentary of Taranatha also is not without a basis. It is not something that he just made up either. It also has its basis in the words of the Buddha and also in the commentaries of in the previous commentaries, in particular the great commentary by the great scholar Vimalamitra. So the great scholar Vimalamitra was an Indian scholar who wrote a commentary on the Heart Sutra of Transcendent Full Knowing. And the Jonangpa Jetsun Taranatha used that commentary as the basis. And this commentary by Vimalamitra is an especially important commentary. It was one that was brought to that they brought to Samye in Tibet, and that was studied with the teacher and all of the students gathered together. And so Taranatha's commentary is without mistake regarding the words of the Buddha or the words of the commentary of the earlier masters. And so there is no mistake in these, in the words of the sutra, the words of the commentary. And so because these things that Rinpoche has been explaining are without mistake and that they are unerring, he has the confidence that they have the power to help you. And so if you study and practice them, and if you listen and contemplate to them, and then gradually begin to practice them and have diligence in your practice, then these will be able to protect you from suffering.
Tene ta tela yang jerdo tanda tusom la zenggu ba. Tusom la zengba chongpa mayin ba gambi nyons lenggu ba. Ta ti ni de nyom de yinji minji gugi yo la. Tene tela yang tene 다 단당하라서 ngāngi tuto tōngchi jingurga nōngdu sōma yā tēne tāwa mēbe gōmba de lōdam dhōlan zēpan rā sōma rē lā tēne tāwa tā tūsōm chē ne tāwi nē tāng yāpo chē hī gu gā yō rē mā tō tē yāng tāqpa chē mā hī nā pēr nā mē chē lāqpa nī mē pa chē tene thola ya ziguna ya nan ziguna tene tiga labi gen thong tu yo mare laba yo mare la pe te nang king ge gom ja kapsula ya tene gom te la te ji nywa manda tene tiga longwa ndabo de salbu ji thong gu yo la salbu ndabo ji hi gu yo te hi par se bala ran la tawe ge nyom tawe ge popa ta tawe ge hira me na te kanga yung yo la teacher na tene te la kanga yung yo ya tawa te yapo yo na ya tene gom manu na hira pento yo ma.
It is important for us to listen to and contemplate these words. However, we also need to practice the Dharma. It is extremely important that we do these two things together. We absolutely must do these two things together. This is, as the earlier masters have said, if you meditate without the view, that is like a man without arms trying to climb a cliff. So if you do not establish the view from listening to and contemplating the Dharma, if you do not come to a complete and thorough understanding of the view, then you will not be able to get very far in your meditation. For example, you will be like a man who has no hands, no arms, who needs to climb a cliff. And without any arms, he won't be able to climb the cliff. And so in this way, we need to have something, we need to listen and contemplate in order to be able to understand where are the paths, how do we go, so what do we need to do in order to meditate. And without the listening and contemplating, we cannot know where this is. We need to have the confidence and the full knowing that comes out of listening and contemplating in order to be able to progress through meditation. So for this reason, it is very important to have the full knowing born of listening and contemplating. At the same time, if we just listen and contemplate but don't meditate, that won't help very much either.
Tiyang ta tanda ta tuto tumji jingurga nong tu song na gampar menu tawa yung chupo sene jingba da zong la ta gom ma to pa tene kepa chimbo da bo je yina tene digi hira ping to yo ma re per na me chupo chimbo je panjur long je pusong zo ba yo na ya tene be sena chimbo se ne long je de la rangi yang long je ma to pa che yin la ya jimba ta ma to pa che rangi su la ya pe ma to pa ja nda bo je yuan nang yin ge dan da mang bo hi hi yo re de yin na ya tene ka ngarang la gu pe den da ngoma de yung to gi yo ma re la tene jun sing teacher na tu som se bin jo la yin ji min ji nyam ni nang gu gi yo re.
So it is very important after listening and contemplating to meditate. There is another example of this given by the early masters in their songs, where they say that if you have listened and contemplated but don't meditate, it is like a rich man who is disabled by stinginess. So if you have a lot of knowledge from listening and contemplating but do not meditate, It is like a rich man who has all the wealth, all the money, everything that he needs, but he's too stingy to spend any of it on himself. He's too stingy to spend any of it on anyone else. And so he may have all this wealth, but it hardly benefits him, and it does not benefit anyone else either. And so, in the same way, if you have if you have all of the intelligence, all of the knowledge from listening and contemplating, but do not do any meditation, it really won't benefit you or anyone else particularly. And so this is, as the earlier masters have said, it is absolutely important that after you have done some listening and studying, you absolutely must meditate.
Tahu ne gamba jonga de sha chung jing ji nong pong jie ban da song de la tene tangpo tene ta tawa to pe hirap yang ta ba ji ye ba ji ti dai ne gambi nyang se lem ba la zen du xie na per na sha chung nam ka la ding wa ta hyo ba ye ba de jang hyo ba yem ba de jang ne tene nam ka la dai na pe ma long do je ta so do je to tene lam nor do ju ge nyen khan da bo kanya me pata tende yung re tende song.
And if you have both the listening, contemplation, and the view, then it will go very well. This is, as the earlier masters said, if you have both the view and meditation, it is like the Garuda that soars into the sky. And so if you have both the view that is born of listening and contemplation, and then and the full knowing that is born of that, and then you also meditate, then it is like the Garuda, a mythical bird, the Garuda, as it soars into the sky. It has both its right wing and its left wing, and as it soars into the sky, it won't fall off to one side, fall to the ground, lose its way, or anything. Rather, it will fly, it'll soar perfectly. And so, in the same way, if you have both the full knowing born of the full knowing born of the view and practice upon it, it will go extremely well.
Tene ta te tardo tanda chongchu semba jinreze je papa khari pola dombe kapsula ya hiraje paru do tsambala tendeze labgu re suwan je ba yin bicherna tene ti kapsula papa khari pola suwan re te ina yang ran solo domba na wana yin tendeze na labgu yo re suwan re.
And so this is the how the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara gave the advice to Shariputra on how to train in the profound, transcendent, full knowing. And this advice was given directly to Shariputra, but we should not think that this advice does not apply to us. It is also advice that we can follow.
Tene ta te tabo ngaran sola yang labja di nawa yin bicherna ta te tabo tula majiba. Tene ta te rangji sena tene ngaran su tenda te su drup gu yore sena rang su drup gu yore rang su kande si drup gu yore sena ngaran dungal manyo wache ngaran su gi se gu yore ngaran deji topar sepa te ngaran su rangi drup gu yore tene te rang deji topa te tene si tugi yore besena si tugi yore karere sena tempa zopu sunji jom dende ne jipe dangwa chepar tam papa tenzo tene te ngaran su njalne te ngaran su nyamsu lembe kokap topne tene deji topa tam dungal tam talwe tene shawa sepe ke kalpa sampu top yore te kalpa sampu topa yinbe cherna ngaran su si tugi yore te topa yinbe cherna te gugi yore besena ngaran su gugi yore te yinchi minchi ngaran su madrup na tene te tige tene jen te sula pogre sena ngaran su rang tendo pogi yore mato yin kanla yungi yore mare la tene junsin teacher na kapndar jenri zechi tene hiraji paru du simbala tetara lapar shao singin te pe shintu sapi ke dangwa chebar tampapa insari.
And so this is advice on training that applies to us. This is how we should train in the profound, transcendent, full knowing. And the reason for that is that our own benefit comes down to ourselves. It is who is it that needs to? So it is our own benefit that comes down to ourselves. So if we need to free ourselves from suffering, who is going to do that? It is ourselves. And if we need to make ourselves happy, then who is it who's going to do that? It is ourselves. It is up to ourselves to make ourselves happy, to protect ourselves from suffering. And so here, is it possible for us to do that, you might ask? Is it possible for us to make ourselves happy? And the answer is yes, it is possible. The reason that it is possible is that we have had the opportunity. We've all had the opportunity to encounter these teachings on the profound, transcendent, full knowing. We all have the opportunity to study them and to practice. And so it's up to us now to practice them, to do them. And if we do that, and if we do practice them, then we will receive the benefit of doing it. And it is up to us to do this ourselves. And if we do not do it, whose fault is that going to be? Or if we do not do that, then who is going to bear the negative consequences of that? It's not going to be anyone else who's going to feel the negative consequences of it. It's ourselves. We ourselves are the ones who are going to experience the negative consequences of it. And so, of not following this advice. And so we need to follow this advice. And so we need to train in this way. And so this is how this advice that the Noble Lord Avalokiteshvara gave is so important. This is how we need to train.
Tene tatela shiraji paru tu simbendo injo la papa chinrizi ki te tar tu sumare la tene ta ngarang kijang tene yendo ke tap number na chobala tene che number roram si tu gre besina roram si tu gumare te yinaya ta ngarang ke tanda labja Rabujela, Tinitati, Inchi, Minchi, Papa Shari Pola, Chanchu Sumbachi, Riziji Sumba Tartu, Chenambig, Nyamne Yapona Ruchi, Nyamne Nanjute Kalchempore, Naranso, Tinichitanga on the Sena, Chenambala Hugu Yomare, Chenambig, Chuchi Nelu Tambohi, Tinichu Gola Show, Tinichu Nyamne Nan Yimbata, Chuela, Tepachi, Yimba. Rete inaya tatela kulmasiena yang charto chenamba tene pe tatandangaranso misige te rain la te trola mando waje tene rang la pembaje tene inji minji naro chi yowe.
And so this is the advice that this is the advice on how to practice given in the sutra. And so you might wonder, does Rinpoche have any other ways, any other methods to protect you or to help you than that? No, he really doesn't. He does not have any other way to help you except for this advice that the Noble Lord Avalokiteshvara gave to the Venerable Shariputra. And so it is thus important that you follow this advice and that you train in the transcendent full knowing in this way and that you practice your meditation, that you practice the Dharma. Perhaps it's unnecessary for Rinpoche to say this. After all, you have all entered the gate of the Dharma. You've come here, you've listened, you've done practice and done meditation. But even though that is so, it doesn't hurt for Rinpoche to sort of encourage you to keep going on this and to continue to practice. Because if you continue to practice, then this entire human life that you have will be able to have some meaning and be able to have some benefit. And so therefore it is very important that you continue to practice this transcendent full knowing.
Tene ta te ji so tunjuru ji go ne tesam sarwa sumgrela Tate Papa Chinri Zeki Tang, Papa Haribo Niji, Traveling the Trupni, Tene, Jomdin the Pingans and Tele Yainte. Janju Semba Semba Chimpon Papa Chinri Zewonchula, Lexo, Hijawa Sene, Sisonrella. Tate Tardo, Papa Chinri Zeki, Haribola Song Trupatan. Tati pardo la jamdinde chitanga onde sena tudan namba jundu temba zopo sonje jamdinde tingen senje onde tatu mai ba yu re number zopo sanji senbare re de yina yo durja tumong ngola tene kondo tam papa shari potan chonchu semba chinri zeni twatlin nang thomar tene samono hi sa tingen zala number jokte sumarel tika sala number ya Tini tanda te trupatan, jamdin de samono hisawe tingen zentele yainte, tingen zentele dangwe ge chul tabu je nang ne, tini ta tika sala shongchu semba jinrize la zingde nang re.
Following this comes the next portion of the sutra, which is dispelling doubt through confirmation. So dispelling doubt through confirmation goes, then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi, from that deep holding, and praised Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Noble Lord Avalokiteshvara. Well done, he said. And so here, this is at the end of the question and answer between the Noble Lord Avalokiteshvara and the Venerable Shariputra. And at the end of this, then the Blessed One, the Lord Buddha, arises from the samadhi, or appears to arise from the samadhi, and says, "Well done." Now, as we discussed earlier, the Blessed One is always dwells in the deep holding of samadhi, with his mind undistracted. After all, he has already awakened to complete and perfect Buddhahood. But in the way it appeared to his disciples, he had newly entered the deep holding of profound illumination. And then later and so then there was the question and answer, and following that question and answer, although he was still undistracted, it appeared to the disciples as if he had arisen from this deep holding. And then he said then he said, "Well done," as a confirmation of the teaching that Avalokiteshvara had given.
Tene ta tela ya lexo hijawa sene lexo rijipo te yaino hizonrela tene te ta tanda chitanga kabangamo durap dembekab tene beki ingba tene ta tikabla sonrela tinsa tendabu ke beki te hira peji segi amarela Tinsan turab nyechi pe kapsala kapje peki ka on de sena lexo hisawa sente sena tene yapuchong suare sinkinda buje sei yapuchong tene lexo sit yapuchong tene tate takarang re sinkinda buje la tene tate lek sinkinte ta turab nimbe kap yapu ke tenda na buje jeida tene hisawa sene sena tate nang de ke chana buje la tene te song ne tene tate la jesu yirma na re
And so the Lord Buddha said, "Well done," he said, well done, son of noble family. It is so, it is just so. Now here in Tibetan, actually, it's in an archaic form of Tibetan. It's as if he said, "That be good," he said. Or "That be good," he spake. That be good, son of noble family. It be just so, it be just so. And so if he were speaking like that, that is the way they spoke in olden times, I think. And so that is sort of the way they spoke in old times. But if you said it in sort of the way we speak today, it would be like, "Excellent," he said. excellent, he said. That's really excellent, excellent, you know. Hey man, it's just that. That's right. And so, in this way, although it's given in the archaic language in the Tibetan, then really the meaning is that that's good. That's just exactly how it is.
Tene te gente chitrachi ji temba yendo hiraji bharu de tsamba samola jepra jati ta hiraji bharu de tsamba tel tinde ji ne nyam selengu re tam papa jin ri ji sunga cham mai ba ten temba zo pusun ji cham den de ji chong de tar do sunga je ba yin be cherna ta de tinde ji ne nyam selengu re sonne ta de la tesam salwa ta de yang takpar re 다텔 논투리요 마리 송아래라 대송아 좀더 마제 되네 다단다 대진히 받는 주 예수 이랑오세 다 대따르도 냠술 랑나 되네 당하른 대배상지다 다다르 유배상지다 마음받는 연바른저로 조부송지 점된데데 두섬도 희배상지 탐지 지장 대 현거래 tene tate tanda ngaranso sosichiwo tamalpa namji zopu songji jamdende ndemo tata tusongge songji tamji njalge yo marete ina yo kon nambege to yihi jeloni ngaranso la zigi yo arela zigba indu hiraje paru de tsamba samola nyamso lang na tene te la tene tanda tene songji tamji 좀 특니 예수 이름과 정 teni tela tanda shongchu sempe chepalan jupali songna senchen goja mato pa jalwaji pi tab yin me sanji tamchi thukni pa si gu na kari si gu gi ware se na chepa pol solwa tab na thukni gi yo mare te misal ge teni tepa pol tende se na sanji tamchi thukni pi gi chaba yo mare ngaran so se nam ji chu zo pe se dolun chepa pol gi yo ware tepa pol gi yo ware ina yo ngune thukni pa gadi gi si gu gi yo ware se na yang na senchin je dan se yang na rang gi tong bi chu nyang so long na 다텔라 조부송지 점딘데 탐지지 특제와 친구 ngaransola zeya bayin becherna tini tela to yesu yerani to nipa 풍성 초바 용 그래
And so he said, it is so, it is so. It is just so. Profound, transcendent, full knowing should be practiced just as you have taught, just as you have taught. And so this is the way you need to practice the profound, transcendent, full knowing, the prajna paramita. And so you should know how, you should practice it, and you should do just like this to practice it. This is the exact way you practice it. And so this is said because it is possible that someone might have a doubt. Is this really true? Is this really what the Buddha means? And so the Buddha is saying this is a confirmation that dispels all those doubts. There's no need to have any doubt in it. It is just so. This is the way. It is just as you have taught that this should be practiced. And then it continues that all the Tathagatas will rejoice. All the thus gone ones will rejoice. So all the thus gone ones of the past, all of the thus gone ones of the present, the thus gone ones are the Buddhas, all of the thus gone ones of the future. And so in this way, all of the Buddhas of the three times, all of the Buddhas that ever have or ever will be, ever have been or ever will be, they all rejoice about this. And the reason that they rejoice about it is because it's just this way that we need to practice. This is we also should practice in this way. And if we practice in a way, then all the Buddhas of the three times will rejoice about this. Now, we do not have the actual. In the way it appears to us, we don't actually have the opportunity to directly see, or within. Here it is. Within our beings, then it seems as if the Buddhas, all the Buddhas of the three times, don't appear to us, and so it doesn't seem like we can see the Buddhas in this way. but that doesn't mean that they aren't pleased or they aren't happy, because they can perceive us with their wisdom minds. It is as if we are always in front of the Buddhas, and they can see and they can be happy and pleased when they see that we are doing all of our practices. This is as it is taught in the Bodhicharyavatara, the way of the Bodhisattva, where it teaches that what is most and so where it teaches that there is if we want to please the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, there is no other way to do that than by working for the benefit of sentient beings and by working for our own benefit. So we need to, although we cannot directly perceive the Buddhas, they can see us with their wisdom mind. And so what is it that we can do that can please them? It is to work for the benefit of of sentient beings. And it is to do our own practice, to do our own Dharma practice. And if we do that, then all of the Buddhas of all of the three times will rejoice and be happy.
Tene ta te jeso ta tanda ta jesu yirwa tong ngambar te pare la. Tene ta zopu sonji jamden de ji jang ta te tardo yapu chungwa tene sungare. Tene jamden de ji te ki ji ka tsal ne sedan temba hyari potan shonju semba chimpon papa chinreze onju tong tamji tong temben khor tera tong la tang medan lama yin tang tsaraji bin jitin ye rang te tene ta te la di kapso tene zopu sonji jamden de tangbo shonju semba chinreze onju tong papa hyari poke trawa trani ji song tene sanji jamden de ji te la lek so hi nawa sen ne tini hyaripu tu ni shonchu samba jimbon papa jinreze onchu tu ni tini te tsamdo yung mazi tamchi dong tenpen khor tera tong se ta ting khor to drachamba tang janchu samba tang tini ta te hendo la tang me tang lama yin la sopa tamchi dong tenpen khor tera tong ta mandrawa tini zambi lay jitin je kong yenda ni chungwa chungchu semba chenpo la sopa tamchi tera tamchi tang la tang me tang lama yin tang tesarachi bin jitin ye rang te pe semba ga tini semba gawa te ne kap tsam to gawa ma yin pa ta di kap tena la hirap nimbo te song me na tene jitin che khom dana la hira nimbo te dar thu yo mare la hira nimbo te dar thu me na hira nimbo to hira je paru du tsamba ta tene ta te yen to ngaran so cha je chimbo to zogwa chimbi nyawne la tene druba to pa kasi ji chen yo pa te tene ta long la hu pa kasi ji chen yo pa ten so chen thu yo mare la tene ta ti hira nimbo suwa la tene rem jim per ne ta 자그럼 법이 열도 되네 두톱동 되네 다점 발라서 가시 지생이야 봐대 대견도 배공진지 중 대견도 다 단다 좀빌랭게 산니 남바산지 담비추에 따르게 산니 견다 칸다 가는 있네야 되네 딘세 받던 되네 자침 보충하대 대다 보충하 대점도 마지 다 단당가란 속은에 노쇼란 자르게 고급 상보 토파 tene kalwa sampo ta che namba inaya sonam chenpo sope topji tene cherdo tampe chun jarwe ke sonam yepa te nane mixal to ta hira nimbu ta chetawa yinto nyonsa lempe ke sonam yepa la tene sonam yepa te go te kadu sipare sena di kapsula che ne tan jitin je khom dana le yinji no burumbo che te chungwa yimba charna tene tsara che bin jitin yerang te chomden de chi sumba langambar te to se ta ngara so pe kalwa sang pu chungwa re se ne sungwa re la kalwa sang pu chungwa hiba re ta te tar tu ni chungwa ya re.
And so in this way, by saying it is good, this dispels doubts, confirms the words of Avalokiteshvara. And then comes the next section, which is rejoicing and praising. So after the Blessed One said, this is good, so after the Blessed One spoke those words, the Venerable Son of the Sharadvatis, another name for Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Noble Lord Avalokiteshvara, that whole gathering and the world with its gods, humans, asuras, or demigods, and Gandharvas rejoiced. And so after through the power of the Buddha, there was the question and answer between Shariputra and Avalokiteshvara. And then the Lord Buddha said, well done, this is good. And after that, then everyone was very happy and rejoiced at this. And so this was the Shariputra, the Venerable Son of Sharadvatis, the great Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. And that whole gathering being all of the monks who were gathered and all of the bodhisattvas who were gathered, and then all the gods and humans and the demigods and the Gandharvas. The Gandharvas are like another type of spirit that eats smells. So the gods, humans, and demigods and Gandharvas all rejoiced and were very happy about this. And this is the Sangha of Bhikshus, the Sangha of Bodhisattvas, all the Bodhisattvas from many different worlds, and all of the beings from all the different worlds who came to that place and listened to them. They heard the words and they rejoiced about them. They were really, truly excited about them. They were really pleased, and this was not just a temporary joy at this, but rather it's not just a temporary joy. The reason it was not just a temporary joy is because it was at this point that these words of the profound Heart Sutra on transcendent full knowing were taught. And if they had not been taught at this point, then they would not have spread throughout the world. The teachings on the profound transcendent full knowing would not have spread throughout the world. And all of the great Mahasiddhas and all the people who have entered the path, all those who have practiced, so the teachings of the profound transcendent full knowing would not have spread through the world. There would have been no opportunity to practice the great seal, Mahamudra, the great perfection, Dzogchen. And so all of the great siddhas, all the great practitioners in India, and all the people who entered the path, all the people in Tibet who have entered the path, they would not have had the opportunity to practice had these words not been spoken at that point. If these words had not been spoken at that point, they would not have spread through the world. They would not have come, and so we would not have had the opportunity to come in contact with them. But these words were spoken. And so because of these words being spoken, then think of all the great practitioners in India and in Tibet, and then all of the other places throughout the world. Think of all the places where this Dharma has spread and where people have been able to come into contact it and practice it. And not only have people been able to come into and practice the Dharma, they've been able to come into contact with and practice this Dharma on the Heart Sutra of Transcendent Full Knowing. They've been able to contact these. And if you think about it, all of us here in the West, think of what great merit you must have in order to be able to come into contact with these teachings. Think of how lucky and how fortunate you are to be able to come into this contact. And so for all of the benefit that this has done for all of this, it is because it is said at that point. And so they all rejoiced. All of the beings gathered at that point rejoiced these words, and they praised the words of the Blessed One. They praised the words of the Bhagavan Buddha, and they said, "This is good. This is good." And they were all very happy and rejoiced and praised these words.
Tene tati hiranimbuge chutente trupne tatanda hyala jerdo tanda tene kristante jitan jitin jingoni yena tene America sane tamji janane joshu daboji rese memambuge labs de pasi tente imbada samsung tambe chuge ngoni yena tene America sane tamji janane joshu dabo sonam chehu ndabo ta tende indu te la tanda lama jishin tamba mambo pe tene te konamba kangage chuden na kangage chu drupu ko kawi yeba tene sacha ne ya wenye nyam gawa tene tambe chu ge jila chehu ndabo ta sane ndana chepartam papandabu chungwarela te nane mixal to tene jamkamapa country churupa Rangtong Rinpoche sanendana la chivya jorwa zomdayo maze kong to yihi jengo tata higomong cheten te tene sanendana la sarto yen trupa tene te tanda ngaranzo Saint Louis sani kani jalnaya tene kani inaya tahi gomong tat kama Rangtong Rinpoche to ihi jingo tahi gomong chetente kani inaya jaljuye be kalpa sangpo kong te tuje tan sinala tene tanda chulu mambuge tene tambi chu persige sani tewanda po tende chawar.
That completes our Dharma session. That completes the teaching of the Heart Sutra. And we have done this teaching here in the place of Crestone, which is in all of America. All of North America is one of the nicest places in America. It's one of the best places to be. And this is, in worldly terms, this is a very good and pleasant, nice place to be. But it is also in terms of the Dharma. This is in terms of the true Dharma. This is a place where many fine lamas have come and practiced and taught the Dharma and helped spread the true Dharma. And so this is a very rich place in this way. And so this place of Crestone here, and it's a very good opportunity to be able to teach the Dharma in such a place. And this is not just a place where, in particular, among all the lamas who have come here, there was the 16th Jalwang Karmapa Rangtong Rinpoche Dorje came here and left his footprints here. He actually walked here and left his footprints here. And as he came here and blessed this place, then later the Tashi Gomang's stupa, which is the like the essence of the wisdom mind of the Karmapa, was built here and is completed here. And so this is a place that has the blessings and is a very important place. And for the wisdom blessings of the 16th Karmapa Rangtong Rinpoche Dorje. And this stupa, the Tashi Gomang stupa, is like a hub around which all religions, and in particular the true Dharma, can really spread and expand and flourish. And so this is a very fortunate place for that.
Tene ta te zamdo yo mazi ta tanda tene Rangtong Rinpoche, tene Tsuni Rinpoche, tene tantan Zagagong Rinpoche, te mahimbe lama jishin tamba mambo ta je tena chuchun kolo koru tene pe kalpa sampu chunga re la tene ta te yendo ngarang ki jang ta chuge go ne shab chen rabola chuji batam je la shab chen rabola dukhan saba je ta la je lo matsogin bezol la tene jong tene te ngarang ke somna ta chuji bakanga la tambe chu dupuke tene tinchi rabu shab rabu yin samba sine tene yingbare la tene te la tanda leka chenkin kanga ke pe leka hurta barta chene pe mesipe tene dreven rabu yapu chong ta tende chongare
Shal chepasana.
lejiba
Shal chepasana.
Yapche.
Oh.
Juji bakanga yapyu. Roram kansi.
In addition, This is a place where many other great lamas have come and taught and come. So Garchen Rinpoche, Tsokni Rinpoche, Dzigar Kongtrul Rinpoche, and many other great lamas have come here and turned the wheel of Dharma, helped people practice, explain Dharma, and teach. And so this is an excellent place to come and teach the Dharma. And so Rinpoche is very glad to have been able to come here and to teach the Dharma in this place. And now also in this place, Rinpoche thought that it would be good to, and through the help of all of his students, there is Rinpoche's retreat center, which has been built. And there are all the people who have worked very hard on this. Many people have put in a lot of hard effort and worked continuously without rest, tirelessly to create this center and to put it together. And this is a very good thing. It is a very beneficial thing. Rinpoche feels like it is doing something that is in order to help all other people practice the Dharma. It is like to be literal about it, it's like a favorable condition for practicing the Dharma, a place to be that will help us practice the Dharma. And so there have been many people who have helped on this and put in a lot of effort, and so Rinpoche would like to thank them all.
Tene tatanda maungpalaya tati chasanje yapuji jangma tene tambichuge tene rabu yapu yungre sombe rewache yore la tene tela chenambage cherto kan tutu tene tambichuge ngone na tene jiting ngone na panjur ngone na tene roram kan thara jamju na ruchi tati devu yapu yungaje Rangtong 산인나 되네 담비 주중킨소라 페인토바제 야보지 용야제 네 잠주 나로지 휴주래라 되네 대야 쉬야데 다 당다 안다나 쳇넘버 페파데 엔조 되네 지당 그 담비 주기 제들 페파레 되네 지랑 넘버라이 담비 주도 그 틴진 그거 요래라 되네 믹살게 자상하지 전주 로바치 그래서 휴기메라 되네 휴투그 말에 가르리세는 지랑 넘버야 담비 주도 그 틴진 그래 라 되네 이나야 쳇넘버 되네 누바요래 가르리세나 모히바 망보요래 주야바 망보요래 tene ju yapa tenzo la kari yore se na kahi panjoro yapa topnjoro yapa tenzo ge tene sunam sande yapa yore la yona ya sunam te kana sa gu ge yapa monje te kana tang gu ge yapa ti ngui mazin ba ta kari che gulina ngala be tomjoro yore te kana sunam sa pten kana tang gulina ha ma go atile 요래라 텐솔라 꿀만나나 네 꿀땅나 배 생진 망벌 페인토그레스 꿀만나나 드네 강가라 펜바 저놈 상켄라 펜바 저놈 사살라 펜바 드네 용그레라 텐소 툴 마지바나로 지효이.
And now it's important that we actually complete this retreat center, that we complete the project, because if we do this, it will become a very fortunate place for everyone to be able to practice the Dharma. It will be a place that will help everyone in their Dharma practice. It is a place where people can come, a center where people will be able to practice the Dharma that will bring benefit to a lot of beings. And so Rinpoche is thinking of this as a way for helping a lot of people practice the Dharma. And so this is the main reason for completing the building. It is not for any other reason, but just to help everyone have a good place to be able to practice the Dharma. And so in order to do this, Rinpoche needs your help and needs you to help in any way that you can to build the center. It is important that it be completed. And so Rinpoche would like to ask you to help, but he also understands that you all need to use your own resources to benefit yourself and to be able to practice the Dharma. You need to use your resources to do your Dharma practice. And so, since you need to use your resources to do your Dharma practice, you may not have any much left over to give directly to the Dharma Center, but that doesn't mean that you can't help. Actually, what Rinpoche would like you to do is not to use your own resources so much as to, but he figures that you all have a lot of friends and acquaintances. And that among your friends and acquaintances, there might be some who have a few resources. And that of those who have some resources, that there might be some of them who aren't quite sure how they should use their resources well. And they may not quite know, what can I do to use my resources that is going to be beneficial? What can I do with all these resources to really accumulate merit, to gather the accumulation of merit? How can I gather the merit? And so I have all this money, but I don't know what to do with it. And I don't know how to use it to accumulate merit. And so if perhaps you encourage these people to if you encourage these people to perhaps say, oh, well, here's a little project that you can help out with that will be beneficial for a lot of people, that will help spread the Dharma. This is a good way for you to accumulate merit and help other beings practice the Dharma. Then if you can help out in that sort of way, that would be quite a wonderful help.
Tene ta tenga yang mambuge roram nang yore la tenzo kangala tuji che hyoyin la tene tanda kasin siti tenda matching roram nawa tene tongtra ni changa nawa la tuji che hyojota tene tela ya conflict tanga la tanda ngarange America la pachu ndone tene wangda bona ten lama choge tene depata mu te tone te depata lechege tongtra ni changa je indola te tanda tene dukhang lagang yin la hinde phugi.
And so many people, actually many among you have already helped out this retreat center. And so thank you very much for all the help you've given the retreat center. In particular, now that you have all come here, the other day Steve Smaha made the offer of a matching grant of $25,000. And so if that can be, if we can raise that $25,000, then Steve will match that. And so now Rinpoche has been traveling to and from America quite a bit, and when he comes here, he gives empowerments and such, and students have given him many donations, and so Rinpoche would like to match that donation of $25,000. So Steve, please.
Tene tatanda hyoyala chenambige nyamning kantoto jamju naruchi hyojurela yang khashila nyamling nangde yenaya nyamling nangju ge kokap matopa tende yorela ti inaya kalba ngemba revisina kalba ngemba mare kalba sampore tene te tambi chu chu gor hyo tene tambi chu to tene te tambi chu la nyamling na nangju ge somlo kipa te ape kalba sampore la tene te ge cherna kap kap la tambi chu dubu ge kokap matopa la sempang ma guba tangaranzo perna zopusunji jamdinte ji songan zeparela kanchu somla deba tang ichi ge go ni lapa yaji ge thalmo jarna ya tini thartu kndrewu yapa sumarela de teacher na kanga kalba sambo impa imbicher na thu kawata to no ni tini ngaranzo je tambi chu ge be ge zawate senjin tamji ge tan do ne jitin ji kontam ji la ni do muge don sen ji kalba ngam batam ji hyore hyo sombe ge tuji do melam naru ji.
And so you have all come here, and you all have come here out of the desire to learn about and to practice the Dharma. And this is a very good fortune. But there may be some among you who have the wish to practice the Dharma. Oh, excuse me. And this is a very good fortune. And so Rinpoche would like to encourage all of you to practice the Dharma as much as you can and do as much practice as you can. Now, of course, there might be some among you who have the great desire to practice the Dharma, but who do not have the opportunity, who do not have the ability to practice Dharma at this point. And so those of you who don't have that ability at this point, you might think that this is some sort of a great misfortune. But actually it's not. It's not a great misfortune, because you all have come here, you all have had the opportunity to encounter the Dharma. You've all had the encounter to receive the Dharma. And so even though you haven't the opportunity may not have the opportunity to practice the Dharma at this point, then in the future this opportunity will come, and you will be able to practice, and you will be able to attain the result of the Dharma. And so this is really an extremely good fortune, just to be able to come into contact with the Dharma, even if you haven't the opportunity to practice. It is as the Lord Buddha said. The Buddha said that if someone out of sincere faith in the three jewels just raises one hand in prayer, then that itself leads to the result, leads to the ultimate result. And so if we have that little bit of faith and that little bit of devotion, and we use that, and then gradually it'll build, and so we will attain that ultimate result of Buddhahood. And so for that reason, you're all very good, have a very good fortune to be here. So now, because of that, please recite, keep this in mind as we recite the dedication and aspiration prayers. So first we will have the offering of the body, speech, and mind.
Sanje judan soje dona la janjo bardo dane janso nage jenso ngebe sona je rola benje sanje roba yo sanje judan soje dona janjo bardo dane janso nage jenso ngebe sona je rola benje sanje roba Janjo bardo dane japsan je dage jenson gebe sonan jenrola sanje nama yo zenje damje de le nyo dai de ma jo je donga je jo dai rawa jo je donga me de wa dam bai da me rawa jo je ne re ja ne dai ro ve da nyo je bo la ne ba jo je zo dai jo je de son je ba me zeng ge na ge ma le ne da nam je la le na wen ja je wo sang bo je be mo la yin do na yin ja wa nam je ye ge je ne de ne ra ra yin do ba yin ja wa gon la ra de cha ba de zhe de ya de na de ne san je na san je ze je wen Naran je je na ma le ba nam je nya wa na je ga wa me de da nga ba me ze nya zo na yang ge ye la nya zo nya wa gun je ye de ram de je de wa je ba na je na ge de me do na ba je wa na ba na se nye Jung wan de jo na ma me jo na de bo na ma ye nya wa de da la ne jo ba je na za na ba na no je ma ba ma re ra nya ba na go ba je ba be jo go je nya wa de da la ne jo Bai Ga Nai Lai Min Ja Je Wan De Dan Ja Wa Dan Je Lai Ya Min Sam Bo In Je Lai De Bin Ya Wan Gu Lai Ja Za In Je Ne Ja I Je Da In De Mo Wan Ge Ne Lu Da Ma Da In De Ge Je Yang De Wa Da Ge Je Ba De Da Dan Je Da Ge Su Su Ja Ju Ju Ja Wa Gun Da San Je Se Ran Ja Dan Da Lo Da Lo Gun Je San Na Ka La Yan De Da Gun Je Je Su Na Ye Ran Ka Na Ju Ju Je De Ju Chan Ju Rin Bai San Je Ma Ja Ni Gung Bo De Lai La Ge Dan Je La Bo Lo La Na Me Ba Nyang Me Na De Kan Je De Da La Lo Ai Gu La Me Je De Ve Je Ka Bai Jin Ge De Je Ju Bo Yan La Ge De Mo Ran Ju Su Wan Je Ja Za Wa La Je Je Ju Bo Dan Je Su Yi Ran Gu Je Su Wa Yin Ja Wa Ju Se La Ge Je Tam Je Lo Be Chan Ju Je Mo Ben Zai Sa Do Sai Ma Noi Ba La Ya Ben Zai Sa Do De No Ba De Na De Do Me Ba Wai Sun Do Ka Yo Me Sun Bo Ka Yo Me Ba Wai An Noi Ra Do Me Ba Wai Sa Wai Se De Men Sa Wai Kar Mai Su Zai Me De Da She Re Ya Gu Ru Hoi Ha Hai Hoi Bang Na Wai Da Da Ga Da Ben Zai Mai Me Mu Ben Zi Ma Wai Mai Sa Ma Ya Sa Do Ya Goi Ben Zai Mu Be Ai Ye Nan Bai Da Bai Wan Xin Si Xie Cai Ji Wai Ben Zai Re Ge Ai Yen Ja Re Gu Yu Je Ra Ge Yong Song Gu Wei Wei Su Rin Ja Bu Re Wai Xia Le Ba Bai Loi Zang Bu Le Loi La Lan Je Jan Zhang Min Le Dan Le Bai Ma Ya Dan Ma Ya Yun Den Da Lan Je Loi Zhang Min Ye Dan Zhang Min Ye Je Dai Ren Bu Je Re Woi Ba Zang Je Shen Dui Zhe Yan Ba Na Doi Ma Ye Lo Doi Ko Loi Ren Bu Je No Bu Ren Bu Zu Mo Ren Bu Je Lun Bu Ren Lang Bu Ren Bu Je Da Jo Ren Bu Je Ma Me Ren Bu Je De Rai Chen Bu Ye Gu Ba Ya Wai Mai Chen Wa Mai Loi Mai Mian Doi Mai Doi Be Mai Nan Se Mai Je Ja Mai Ni Mai Da Ren Bu Je Yen Doi Jo Le Nam Ren Ja Ve Jan Je Wei So Wan Ju Ro Pun Zun Zo Bai Man Sang Wa Me Ba Ram Jam Jan Zo Dun Je Zhang Le De Bai Ngon Ba La Ge Bai De Ni Sun Men Chap Da Ko Loi Ngon Bo Ba Den La Tam Bai Kar Ma Lo Zhe Re Lo Ma We Sen Ge Chen Bo Jo Ge Gu Zhe Xia Be Ga Jia Den Jin Sa Jia Chu Je Ko Ba Re Jun Do Ko We Le Do Mo Wan Je Wo Do Jin Do We Den Den Ju Yen Jen Je Lan Do Zo Oi Den Do Zo Je Mai Ne Lai Mai La Ngoi Zai Den Be Nai Nien Den Bo Ve Ngai Ngoi Gar Bai Jan Zoi Zoi Jen Be Ge De Na Wa Hoi La Doi Bai Jo Je 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 Wan Jo Bai De Lai Mai La De Jo Den De Le Bai Den Bo Ve Gan Zo Ye La Doi Jo Den Je Le Zai Je nam je jai je ma do zo ye je joy ne ba ne la ma la jai ve jo go den joy den bo ve gan do na yin je zo joy be zen be da zo ro wa jin go zo yen de men jo ba ne la ma la de go jo be bon sa de bo be da me no bo ga de me ze be san zo ro be re wa gon ze zo de le da ye ma ne la ma la na zo do ro je ja ja de bo ve kan do be na de ven ze ba jo Dai jin ja da hai luen jin rum jo ji ban den la mi sha be den ba dang kan yan yo la de ji ju dai je ma le zo za zhe jia ne nyor do san je sa la ngue ba yo.
Okay, so I hear there's some betting going on whether I'm going to cry or not. So, so Rinpoche La, you taught the same thing that the Buddha taught, which is that he cannot take anyone to enlightenment, but that he can point out the way. And so when we listen to your teachings, Rinpoche, it's listening to the teachings of the Buddha. And we thank you for giving us the lotus. And on each lotus, there are petals, the 5 paths, the 5 certainties. And as we pass through those lotus petals, the fragrance of the Buddha's compassion is what you have given us, especially on this retreat. That fragrance that seems, where does it come from? Where is it? And yet we really experience this. We experience it. We can smell it. And there's no way, Rinpoche, that we can thank you enough, because you may not be able to take us to enlightenment, but you certainly are teaching us the way to get there by ourselves. So we thank you, Rinpoche, from the bottom of our heart. We have been extremely fortunate on this retreat for many, many, many reasons. And one of them has been to have the presence of 2 other very great teachers. And Dzigar Khantrul Rinpoche, I want to express to you that Rinpoche could not have been served as well as he has been served if it hadn't been for your students. Most of your students have volunteered and have been working with us, and they say that the student is a representative of the teacher, and I've got to tell you that it is really wonderful. And so we want to thank you for the teachings and the training that you've obviously given them. And so we thank you, Rinpoche. And the next great teacher that we have had the honor to have here is Soni Rinpoche. And Soni Rinpoche, your devotion to Tulku Urgyen Rinpoche is there every time that we pass in our cars. And so that expression of devotion is so important for it to be a physical manifestation of that, so that it's a reminder to us. And we thank you very much for your gifts. And I'm going to have one of the lamas come up for this, because we pooled this amongst all of Rinpoche's lamas and Khenpo. And so I want to express to them a number of things. I still need to say this, even though he's really going to give me a lecture afterwards. My mentor of many years, and he gets better and better at it, has taught me about protocol. I don't know that I've learned it very well, but he has tried very hard. And representing all of Rinpoche's monks and lamas, Lobsang Dorje. And our next guest is Ani Pema Chudran, and through her many books, she has led countless students to the Dharma, and for that, I can probably say that she's accumulated a tremendous amount of merit, and we thank you for being here. Yeah.
Just mentioned that without her, we wouldn't have had a translator here today. It was because of one of my children's books that I got to be able to have the chance to read the Dharma.
So, did you all hear that?
It is because of the kindness of Ani Pema Chodron in writing her wonderful books that I had the opportunity to meet the Dharma, and so I'd like to thank her also for that.
Sorry. Okay. Well, how many of you read or understand Tibetan? So you see, David, we could not have done it without you. And to the extent that we would not have gotten the teachings in its full understanding, we are so appreciative and so glad that you could come here and do this for us. Thank you very much, David. You know what? I feel like I should give the mic to her because she's a lot more funny. We met Lama Kathy last year, and we fell in love with her. She's a wonderful teacher. She's a devoted student to Khenpo Kartar, and we were so happy when she consented to come and be our chant master and also our sense of humor. Lama Kathy, thank you. We were very fortunate to have Lama Tempa, who is a teacher at Naropa University, and he served as one of our discussion group leaders, and we want to thank him for being available to us in that capacity and to help clarify some of the teaching points that were covered this week. Thank you, Lama Tempa. And one of the things that we were so grateful and fortunate for is that this retreat brought all the Tibetan Buddhist Sanghas together, and it has been absolutely wonderful to work in that harmony, in that sense of harmony, in that sense of connectedness. And I know that when we first came to Crestone, there were some individuals that were so opening, and they opened their hearts to us. Elizabeth Namgyal was one of those people who said, if you need any help, please give me a call. And the other person was Shauna from Yeshe Korlo, and it was that kind of welcoming that made our task a lot easier. So, Lopan Dorje, we'd like to thank you for your continuing teaching and your friendliness to us. Thank you. And another sort of special Lopan, we met him a couple of years ago, and he's been really wonderful. And we've had some really wonderful Dharma conversations, and he's clarified a lot of points. And I'm sure that he did that in the discussion group as well. Lama Kunli, thank you so much for being here with us. And the other person from Yeshe Korlo, and he just arrived, and we welcome him, and we look forward to his teaching and to being a friend to us as well. Lopan Sonam. Now what I'd like to do, which didn't happen throughout the week, and I apologize for that because it got so busy. We, Clark and I, would like to turn over the torch to two wonderful teachers that are going to reside at Vajravidya Retreat Center, that are going to be available for you on any practice level. And we could not have better practitioners and better teachers to teach us how to actually practice the Dharma. And I would like to introduce you to the people who will be running Vajravidya Retreat Center and who will be available to you. We turn the torch over to Lama Wangdu and Khenpo Jigme. You remember they're here all the time, and Crestone can sometimes get lonely, so you guys keep coming. Don't leave any days open, okay? I would like the whole staff, all those people who put so much effort that you all don't see into keeping the retreat running. I would love, first of all, to thank all of you, and I want you to stand up and be acknowledged. I can't call you all by name, but please stand up. And don't be shy, or I will call you by name. And lastly, I would like to thank all of you for your inspiration. You're taking the opportunity to carve out the times from your busy life and to come and listen to one of the most wonderful and greatest teachers on this planet. I thank you all for coming, and I hope that we connect again. Thank you.
Sanson doje kanson rabdenje daye jele lundon be wajo dembe bajo karma lodre ja jobe sambo yundenga beje jabe daden jendo je tele jole nanjam be wajo dembe bajo karma lodre ja jobe sambo yundenga Beijing Jabe Naden Jedungi Tele Jole Namjan Bewa Jo Nembe Majo Karma Jobe Zambo Yenden Ganjando Beijing Jabe Naden Tele Jole Namjan Bewa Jo Lama Gugan Sanla Zowan De Jode Guzerin Las Tele da jing ge lai so wan de la ma dan zhu wai me ba jin je lo ju ju de jin ja wai se dan je la ma ye dan gan zhu ju ju zu ma le jin yin de ni je den je nan ge lai bin de den lai ju leng a ye zun gui be jia zi lo je na sa wan de je ni je ju den ju de je nam je jing a ru ngun je de be so lai Nadai mege jeme rabdo je jen de lai dun je da ge na so nan ge so gun lai je rang gun ja ye so nai nyang ge ne la min je go go ge so ro jo la ngun ro na la min da be sa jen jo san je se je da la go so so na ge za be mo la ra ye wai kun do sang da de zi dang ba ba jang be yang ge jen ba dan de da kun jin je su da lu ju den be be ju la ma ren nam gai jen do gu lai sa wa ju nian da jen do gu lai sa wa ju ro wai jen do da do de den be jen ma gen de ren bo je do do zhen zang la sun ji jung ju den be nian bo sang ga en zhuo be de dam ze den jen nian zi da den bi jian dai zhe zhong jia bo yang cha xie jia xian den la men bai ju den bi jia den ge re lo be yang lo zhe ra be za den bi so ji jian dai zhe de na luan jie den zhen nian zhe men bai ju den la de be yang xian jia gang su de ji de ye bo ji xi wo ju la la ne be na zhe da ni jiang dan zhe men yang sang bai zhe bo ju da la sang ge le ge jun zhe gang ne ga da dun jie wen jie Rana la men de be ngo shun de gong san jia zhen jen bo dong ba ju gong san do jie jiang jie men jie ne zhen jian za yue la ma zhou yue den de mo lan gang zhe ban de da tam jie da ge zhou ba ju su nan de ye nam jie